And we're back again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Chris sees the internet every Sunday, 7 p.m. right here on Platform Collection on YouTube. I'm joined by some guests tonight. The ladies of the Heartful Truth are joining myself and OG Hip Hop Eddie.
What's up?
Yes, welcome, ladies.
What up?
Good.
All right.
Good. We're off to a good one. If this is your first time tuning in, man, you guys picked a good one. We got two dope up-and-coming artists that have been making a lot of noise in the underground hip-hop scene, especially down here in Southern California. The homie O'Shea Boyd is coming up at 8 p.m., 8:15?
8:15, yes.
At 8:15, and then at 7:30, first kicking it off will be the homie Moody. If you don't know about him, you're going to get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
This young man's out there killing the game right now. Got a lot of mutual friends with us. Shout out to the homie Beardo. Shout out to American Error. Shout out to Secret Saviors of Underground Hip Hop.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. And the rest of the Platform Collection family. If you guys don't know about Platform Collection, please check in with them. Check in with us anyways. And see what we do, man. We got a lot of things cooking. We got a lot of podcasts right now. As I mentioned previously, The Heartful Truth, the ladies are here with us tonight. We also do Beat Block TV, all beat maker radio. And that's every other Monday.
Yep.
Hosted by Gene Flow. And if you want to send in beats for that, you need to hit up the homie OG Hip Hop Eddie. Right, Eddie?
Yep. Send them to hiphopeddie@gmail.com. 1 to 3 beats. And 1 to 3 minutes and at least 3 beats.
Yeah, 1 to 3 minutes.
Yes.
Not those little 15-second snippets.
No.
Those do you no good, they do us no good. So please abide by the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Send in the beats. Man, they're killing it over there. And we also have some other shows cooking right now too.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, can we officially? We still can't officially say, right?
Yeah, I think we'll wait maybe like another in 2 weeks.
Well, we got another podcast coming up very
2
soon.
weeks.
But we also are working with another podcast, the podcast About People, hosted by the homegirl Vita Kills. Follow Vita Kills on Instagram.
Please.
You can Google her. She's got a resume. She's not new to the game. She's got a dope podcast about people.
Mm-hmm. She gets in.
So do the math. It's dope. She interviews a lot of creatives, heavy on the mental health game. Vita is definitely that person. So if you want to get tapped in with the artist mind, and man, my camera is acting crazy today. Hold on here.
Is it moving on its own?
No, it was just locking out. But yeah, so check out Vita Kills, follow her, and follow everybody at Platform Collection. And make sure you subscribe, turn on the alerts, especially if you like conversation about art coming from the goggles of underground hip hop, seen through the goggles of underground hip hop. But we reach out far beyond just our scene. We try to bring in a lot of helpful resources in the guests that we bring in.
Yes, definitely.
People with experience, people who can share some game on the independent art hustle. So it's not just hip hop. You can apply a lot of this stuff to just the underground independent art hustle. And it is a hustle out there, man. You got to hustle. We were just talking to the ladies. 7 October's just recently got into painting as well as Melly. Both of you guys got into more tangible art, right?
Yes.
Like art that not just digital. You guys have been making digital stuff for a long time, but now you're actually, this is like paint brushes and
and pencils and everything.
And
Sketching.
Yeah. So, what do you think about it so far?
It's cool for me. It's definitely helped me with like my anxiety and like patience, because I'm not the most patient person. So like, it helps me like be in that moment, just drawing and just, I don't know, like I lose myself in that painting and drawing. I used to like draw just like to, doodle.
Yeah.
But then I just did something like a couple weeks ago, and then I was like, oh, it came out pretty dope. I think it was like that Spider-Man Venom I showed you.
Yeah.
And that came out really dope. So I just started just doing it again and just watching YouTube videos. That's been my guide. So it's not like I'm just coming out for like freehand. I'm actually using videos first, and then I'm going to find my own way. Like
your style.
Yeah, like my own style.
So right now people are watching you kind of develop your style. Like right in front of their eyes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
And what about you, Melly? What do you think? Did you think you would be painting? Like, was that ever part of the plan?
Well, back in the day, I used to paint, but it wasn't like, it was just for fun kind of type thing. But I think now it's kind of more like, it just makes you realize that there's no right or wrong way, the way you do it. Because I just mix colors and then something beautiful comes out of it.
Yeah. And the way you get there is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like the fact that I've always recommended that. I think you guys know this. Like I've always recommended if you have like a primary artistic something primarily that you lean on, like say you're a musician or you're a writer or you're a painter. I think it's always cool to develop other ways to get your artistic expression out, especially when you take dips occasionally in those other things, because that's going to happen, right? You don't always feel like making music 100% of the time. Sometimes you can dip, or maybe you just want to make something different and you can't find a way there. Other forms of art are ways to get there. You know what I mean? And I think I think it's cool that you guys are doing that. What about you, Eddie? You're not going to paint?
I have taken out my sketchbook, to be honest. That's interesting you asked me. And then I'm just kind of sketching whatever comes out. And I don't want to think about it. I just, whatever happens. And then,
interesting.
And then it's just, I just date it. And then I haven't really looked at them anymore. I do them and then I don't look at them. I write, sometimes on some of them I write, you know, like I guess what I'm feeling.
Whatever you're feeling.
Yeah. And then I just leave it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that there isn't something like primal or like in our genes, like drawing, right? Obviously, it's been, I mean, you know, there's cavemen, you know, like, you know, since the dawn of time. So I'm assuming it's a way that we've always kind of gotten out whatever's inside, right? Yeah, so that's cool. I think it's really cool. I've always kind of leaned on other art forms. Anytime I've like, especially when I'm making music, I feel like it just keeps it fresh. You know what I mean? Like there's a different way to look at the same thing, you know, because it's like you said, Melly, you get these ideas, right? Like it kind of flows through you. You do it you create anything long enough, you kind of start to realize like it's not always coming from you. It doesn't always feel like it's coming from you, right? And then it's kind of just training your mind on how to deal with like those factors, right? Like we're all in a chat, obviously, like we're always chatting with each other. And I was saying yesterday in the chat that I think one of the things that I'm trying to do at least is become an expert at my mind. Mm-hmm. Like I know as a creative, you're always going to have thoughts that are out of the box. That's why you're creative. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it almost seems like it coincides with the more out of the box you are, the more creative you are, the more artistic you are. But everybody has different ways to get to those points. And I think that I want to learn I want to learn what all those things are. I want to learn like how the mind finds creativity, like what is the best way to put yourself in a creative place. Because some people can say one thing, but I've realized, especially doing this show and doing, you know, Crappy Awesome for years, every artist has a different taste.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Like they all have a different palette that they paint from. And it's for sure 100%. Nobody paints the same. Mm-mm. And it's why I've always been fascinated just with like the conversations of comparison in art. Because it just doesn't make sense to me, really. Like I don't understand like how you can quantify art. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's hard because we have two artists coming on today, right? O'Shea Boyd, Moody, two different backgrounds, but I bet you within their backgrounds there's similarities, right? But how you want to take in those those aspects and how they touch the listener, they're going to be different, right? It can be based on anything from like the way somebody sounds to the way their beats hit to the way their voice is EQ'd to what they wear in pictures. People connect with so many different things. That's why it's so hard to compare. And that's why it's so hard to like kind of shoot down anybody who's having some success at this. You know what I mean? Like I think the longer you work at this, you find that the people that are having success at this are working hard. Yeah. Because it's so not easy. Mm-hmm. Like it's not easy to balance all these very technical things that we're talking about, you know, with the mind, you know, because you got to kind of master that mind part. I mean, the reality is the best artists have kind of mastered at least the ability to create and not let creativity like kill them, you know? So yeah, that's a goal from me this year. I really want to dive into that more. I want to study it more. I'm studying more in general, just about that, because I feel like if you're an artist and you feel like you want to be a lifelong artist, you're going to have to get that part down. Yeah. The mental part, you're going to have to get it down or it's going to kill you. You got to be able to create in your worst of times. Like I think one of the things that people forget as artists is that life still happens. So like you guys could sell paintings, you know, all year, sell out all your paintings, do well, tour for your paintings, and then just some normal life shit can happen. Mm-hmm. And you don't get to like take time off necessarily if that is your living. So you're still going to have to create in maybe the worst of times. Right. And from what I've seen, the most successful artists, the artists who are able to turn this into a lifelong living, they're able to do that because that's what life is. You know, even when, think about it, like anytime somebody has passed away in your family and you've taken time off from work, you eventually go back. It's not like, well, that happened and, you know, you get a clean slate. And I think sometimes artists, we pretend like we can just get a clean slate after, as opposed to like, you need to probably work through those things. And the fact that you can create and the fact that you're artistic is the hookup, because you have this thing that you can use to deal with the hardest of your times. So yeah, I feel like there's some sort of connection there. And that's something I'm going to build on more this year. Man, it's been a crazy week though. Yeah. It's been an unfortunately crazy week. Once again, guns have become an issue in the U.S. Not like they aren't every day. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of very angry people, justifiably so. Right. I feel. We're talking about mostly our kids, right? When we're talking about these issues, we're talking about, you know, parents trying to protect their kids, sending them to school, and it not working out like that. And it's obvious to me, at least. I promised myself after the last election that I would no longer play the politics game at all. I just don't. I have no faith in like big government at all. Like I can't see how you could. Yeah. Any side you're on. Like I feel like you are justifiably wrong if you're backing the Democrats or the Republicans. That just means that you're just choosing the thing that you like the most and then going with that team. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't take any intelligence to do. That's just like team politics, right? That's all that is. It's what we've always done. And I feel like at this point, pointing fingers and all that shit, it's just not going to do anything. The reality is neither side, by the way, let's be honest here. It's not like the Republicans have been in charge for the last 40 years. It was just the last term. And before that, the Democrats were in charge. So who does this fall on? Because to me, that means that nobody's fixed anything. Right. Like nobody's doing shit. So why are we paying them still? That's the part that just blows my mind. I feel like what has happened at least in politics in America, like the U.S. has done something very successful that no other country has been able to pull off. They've been able to tranquilize their entire public to not revolt against shit that we don't agree with. Mm-hmm. There's a shitload of stuff both sides now where it's not as polarizing as it used to be. We can kind of see each other's complaints on both sides now. Everybody knows they're justified. And the bottom line is it comes down to that we're not being served right by our government. And that's something that we can all kind of agree on. And if we all can agree on that, there's got to be a solution. And usually that solution is we probably need to erase whatever we decided before. Whatever we decided before, it's not working. We need to do something different. And if that's the case, then I don't think that's going to come from within politics. And it seems like, to me, my observation in all the other countries around the world, when people don't like the things their governments are doing, they put a stop to it. Yeah. In every other country except here. And that's what America, I think if they have something that they've pulled off the best, better than everybody, that's what they've pulled off better than everybody. Is that they've given us phones. You rather just spend most of your time on that than trying to figure out the intricacies of what's wrong with the country. Mm-hmm. But now we're paying for it in blood. Yeah. That's just the truth. We are. And I'm a gun owner. And I know that it's too easy to get guns. And I hear people say stuff like, it's not a gun issue, it's a mental health issue. It's not a mental health issue, it's a gun issue. I kind of feel like it's all of those things. Yeah. The fact that it's so easy for a kid to get a gun, I think we can all kind of agree that an 18-year-old probably should not have a machine gun. Does anybody who's not 18 or who's got beyond 18 remember being 18? Like, you probably shouldn't have a machine gun. Like, that's just the reality of it. There's other things for you to occupy your mind on at that age.
You can have a gun, but not drink.
It doesn't make any sense, dude. You know when stuff like that is happening, the reason that stuff is so insulting, the reason why most logical people are angry about that, because it's obvious that it's fugazi. Right? Obviously, there's something wrong. That means that's a money issue. That's a money thing. Let's be honest. Like, we're not dumb. No, nobody on either side is that dumb that they don't think that this is a money issue. Of course it's a money issue. All you have to do is take the amount of money that are spent on guns a year in the United States and compare it to the amount of guns that go into security options out of school. And I guarantee you it's not even close. It's not even close. That means that we don't care about each other anymore. If anything, that highlights the fact that America just we don't care about each other anymore. It's almost like we prefer the fight. We prefer to have someone that we can yell at and blame on. And the reality is this is all of our problem. We created this shit. We continue to create this shit. We're all guilty, by the way. Even everybody who's like, we should get rid of guns. You're just as fucking guilty. You have the same tools as the people who put the guns there. You have those same tools. They use those tools to put the guns on the street. You have the same tools to vote to get those things off, and you don't do it. So I don't think that that's a problem. I think that's a simple way to look at things. If you're like, it's a gun or mental health. For sure, America has some mental health issues. Of course. You can look up the rankings of mental health. In fact, Eddie, do it for me, please. Top mental health countries. Just Google that. I guarantee you we're in the top 3. And I guarantee you 1 or 2 is at war. Okay. We're just cutting in right here in the show to let you guys know that it dropped out for some weird reason. I think it was the FBI.
Probably whatever higher. What's higher than the FBI, man?
Nothing's higher than that. NSA, something like that.
Okay. Maybe it was them.
Either way, it dropped out during the recording of that. That's why we're stitching this in right here. And the answer to that question, or to the Google, you Googled it, right, Eddie?
Yes, I Googled it. And what came back was number 1, Ukraine, number 2, United States, number 3, Estonia.
So that's good enough. So basically, the most oppressed countries in the world, Ukraine, who is at war and being destroyed, and then us.
Yes.
Who have iPhones.
It's high out there.
But yeah, that's just the truth. And so obviously there's a bunch of issues with that. But we also got to be careful to talk about that on YouTube, apparently, because they just cut us off as soon as we start talking about it. But nonetheless, let's get into this interview with Moody. We're going to capture it already in progress.
Right.
He started talking to us about like the beginnings of his career and how he came from the punk scene. He originally came from the punk scene and then came into hip hop. And he's telling us that story and his humble beginnings. So here's our conversation with Moody.
Yeah, the first time I ever performed, I want to say I was like 16. Yeah, I performed at like the high school I went to actually too.
Well, let me ask you this. So looking back on it, were you like now as the artist that you are right now, when you look back on that, were you good?
You know, I mean, it's all subjective. I would say I thought I was fucking amazing. Cool. And I thought what we were doing was amazing, you know, but like sonically, I can't say that we were good. Like we were all kids. Like I wasn't like the only, like literally that's what I met in the punk scene with like a lot of the people that were making the music were like young as fuck. And they hardly knew how to play their instruments. It was all just based off of energy. So what you're talking about when you saw my performance, that's how you see it. The difference, like when you see me rap, it's like it's high energy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's shit that you don't like necessarily see all the time.
Right.
So move us forward from there. So like how did because now you're in punk. And we've met a few people on the show, right, who started in punk and ended up in hip hop. What was the transition for you and why? You know what I mean? Like when you were into punk, was there something that pulled you away from that? Was there a reason that you stopped? Like, why did you make the transition?
It became not like a thing that I could do anymore. The dudes that I used to play in bands with, like they all grew up. Like some of them became teachers, some of them had kids. All the adult shit. Like when the adult life hit, that's when like the people, like all the young people that I was talking about that were making music, a lot of them, they don't continue making music. They just start to live life and like forget all about music. Yeah. I was a person that could not forget about music. So when I didn't have a band, I was like, oh, I like to freestyle. Like when I'm drunk with the homies, like I should turn that into something. And that's literally what I did.
That's what's up.
Like I just started rapping.
Dope.
What was the what were like your influences musically for when it came to hip hop, like specifically? I know you brought probably that punk energy, which you do, obviously you do. But when you got into hip hop, what were like the influences?
I would say, well, early on, definitely MF Doom, Big L. I want to say, you know, Guru. A lot of like, some would call old school, you know, style hip hop, which for me, it was funny because like how I heard Doom was like, I was in 9th grade and I was discussing music with this chick that was in my class, and she ended up saying, oh yeah, I like Doom. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a cool band because there's this band called Doom and they're from like the UK. There's this like crust punk band. And she was like, band? No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. She was like, I mean MF. And she literally showed me MF Doom. And I had never heard him before. Oh, wow. Before that. Wow. Like I thought it was a band she was talking about. A band named Doom that's pretty known. And like that's why it was funny. I was like, oh shit, this is cool. And I instantly, she showed me like Rap Snitches, I think, was the first song. First Doom song that I heard.
That's a hell of an intro.
Yeah, for sure. And then after that, just Doomsday and everything else, you know.
But I could see
Yeah,
why
definitely.
like Doom was like why it resonated with you, especially coming from punk, because I mean there's a lot about Doom that feels punk. You know what I mean? Like especially his attitude and the way like he carries himself and the way he looks at music. So I mean that's damn man, it seems like it was almost kind of meant to be then, like the transition.
The villain is definitely highly regarded in the punk and even past that, like people that are into any like kinds of extreme music. I've met all kinds of Doom fans, people that you would look at and be like, oh, they would never listen to Doom. Like that's the funny thing about Doom. He's one of the only artists that I've like seen that happen with.
Yeah.
Where if you feel like a room full of Doom fans, like it's just a bunch of like really different looking people.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah. Is that I know for sure, like for me, like my own musical palette, that has always been kind of like something that I lean towards. Like I like shit that's a little different. I like shit that doesn't seem to give a fuck about opinion. And it's one of the things that resonated with your music to me, and especially seeing it in the circles that we're in, because I feel like it's a voice that's needed more. You know what I mean? Like I do feel like I like the fact that your story transitions from different types of art and it's still growing, because I think that a lot of the times in our scenes in the circles that, you know, we all kind of hang out in, people tend to like get afraid of that. You know what I mean? Like they tend to get afraid of like just doing something fucking different because you feel like doing something fucking different, not because something's pointing you in that direction or other people think that might be, you know, or that's where to get the bag or whatever. Right. Like literally like just doing it because that's some shit you want to see done. And people don't seem to realize like that is the answer. Like that's the answer. Like if you're stuck, it's probably because you ain't doing the shit that you should be doing. Right. That's true. Right. Like when I hear your shit, Moody, like it's very authentically, like it's when you hear it, you're like, obviously this person really means these things. Like you can see it. It's not, you're not trying to like polish it to a point where it's unrecognizable to people who might know you. Like when you started, like they still can see it all. They can see the transitions. What's the most important part for you when it comes to creating?
Damn, probably kind of like what you're saying, like the authentic feel. It needs to have a feeling. Something just that word feeling is like very simple. That's a really good way to put it. A lot of people I've noticed make music and it doesn't have a feeling. It has like a formula to it. People can like learn how to like, that's why like I've now that I've been rapping for like, since 2015. Yeah, that's when I started rapping, 2015. I could say now that I've like met people that I'm like, oh shit, like you're an MC and then you're a rapper and you're a recording artist and you're a singer and you're a, you know what I mean? Like there's differences. A lot of people will hear someone, like one person spit a single verse and be like, oh, that's a rapper. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird with labels, but I would say the most important thing is for it to have a feeling. And like, especially with all the shows I've done now, I've seen people perform and not even like, they look like they don't want to be there. It's like the craziest shit to me when you see a performer go up and look like they don't even, it's like a weird type of feel. Cause I'm like, yo, what? I'm more eager to see you than you are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Crazy as fuck.
I always wonder when people do that. Yeah. Cause like, I agree. Like I always wonder when people do that, like, is it that they don't believe themselves? Right. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's what I always feel like when somebody's like putting on a kind of a whack performance or they're not giving, cause some people feel like, it's crazy to me too. Like some people feel like performing is the afterthought. Like, and that was always like the primary thing for me. And then like, it's dope that you can record music and put that shit out. But the performance part was always like the main part. And it's always weird to me when that's in reverse. Right. Like performance is like the second thing they want to do or like the thing they just do because they feel like they have to. Right. That's always, I feel like you can never hide that. You can't hide that shit.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, and it definitely takes away from the whole performance in general. It's kind of like an odd thing, but yeah, I've seen it a lot more and more. But yeah, I would say for sure the performance it's a huge thing. To me, it is the most important thing, the performance. Like I put a lot of effort into the song, but usually even when I'm writing it, I'm thinking, like I put myself in the perspective of being in front of a crowd of people. And then thinking like, oh, what would a crowd of people think of what I'm writing right now? A lot of people, they won't think that. They'll just be like, yo, it needs to be catchy, which is important too. It needs to be catchy for one, but that's usually the go-to thoughts. It's like, oh, it's got to be catchy. The beat's got to be this. And but yeah, a lot of times that's the first thing I think about is like, yo, when you perform it, are you going to be like bored performing it? Are you going to be like awake? Are you going to be hyped to like spit this in front of a crowd of people, like no matter how many people are there?
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, it goes back to that thing that you said about just making people feel like, right? Like creating things that have a feeling that actually can tap that. Because I don't think there is like there is no replacement for that. You know what I mean? Like there is, I've seen, dude, we've been doing this. I've probably, at this point, Moody, I've interviewed at least 700 plus different artists, right? Over the years at all levels, at every level. And what I could say in my humble opinion is like the good ones, it's all about the feel. Like I've seen it enough times now, and it doesn't matter what they're making, really. It doesn't matter. Like it's just the feel. And that seems like when people put that as the priority, even like their career paths, would you agree, Eddie? Like their career paths seem to be even longer. Right. Because I think what it is you're creating a brand people can trust. Like they know, like if he says that shit, he means that shit. When I meet him, he's really like that. And when I talk to him, we really talk about the shit that he raps about. Like that shit is always weird to me too. Like when you meet somebody who is some way on a record and then you meet them and they're like, they don't talk about any of those things that they're on the records. I only talk about the shit that I rap about. You know what I mean? Like it's the only shit I know. Like, that's, man, I'll tell you this, man. I think it's just the fact that you're out here doing this, dog, is to me means that hip hop is working still. So I definitely want to give you your flowers on that, bro. Like I said, I've become a fan and I'm eager to watch your career grow. What can people kind of like expect from you for the rest of this year? Like, what do you have planned as far as music, these shows? What do you have coming up?
I just released a little like 9-track project last week. Yep. I didn't even really promo it too much, but I released it last Saturday. Was last Saturday the 21st? Yeah. Or was it this past Saturday? Yeah. No, the 21st. Yeah, last Saturday. Yeah. But yeah, I released it last Saturday, and it's I got that, but I'm probably not gonna be doing any more projects for a while. Not that like I don't like have anything against doing projects, but I kind of feel like the way it's been feeling when I release music, that releasing singles is just as fucking powerful. You just gotta release music. Like I feel like people want more frequent releases currently than like waiting for you to drop something. That's kind of what I've been noticing. I don't know if it's like if that's how it has been for like a lot of people, but you know, I agree, man. That's what it's kind of seemed like. So I think I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start like releasing music like less music, you know, at like a more rapid kind of pace and see what that does, see how that goes. Yeah, I think probably for the rest of the year, at least that I'll be dropping singles and shit, collabing with all kinds of people, you know. And still, and I'm assuming people can still, if they follow you, you're still going to be doing shows throughout the summer. Yeah, I should. I'll be doing probably not as much as like I have been doing, but definitely I've been doing a lot more like punk shows. I'll go like rap at a punk show. That's dope. Nice. It's like that's dope. But not like not too many like punk promoters are like, you know, hip to that idea just yet. But it I've done like for sure shows like in South Central, Fontana at like punk shows, and it's been like good as like the crowd has been fucking awesome, man. Because I've noticed that, you know, that's how it is a lot like at like punk shows and shit. Like if the more different you are, especially when like you're like in front of artists that like are already different to begin with, like these crazy ass bands. You know, at punk shows you can see like the craziest, most outlandish shit.
Yeah.
And then like somebody decides to rap at the show, they're even more like, what the fuck? Like my boy Wix did a punk show in Fresno, and he said that they were like fucking going insane over him. And I'm like, yep, because Wix has that energy.
Yeah,
that high energy for sure.
Bro, you know what?
Yeah, and like I've been doing like a lot more of that.
Since you brought that up, man, I want to ask your opinion on that because it's something we talk about a lot. We just experienced it recently too. Like we just did a show. Me and Gene Flo as the Invisible Ponchos. We did a show with 3 rock bands, and man, bro, we said the same shit honestly, and I kind of want to hear your opinion on why you think that is. Like, why do you think like we could go to something that isn't traditionally hip hop? And the energy there and like the acceptance there is way different than when you go to something. Not that you don't get the love of hip hop, but it is different. There definitely seems like there's a lot more people at a hip hop show who would rather be on stage than we just experienced at like this show that was way more diverse, where the people were there for the music. Like they were there for them. Nobody was in the audience trying to be on stage. Like they weren't. Where I feel like at a lot of hip hop shows, there's a lot of opinion that people want your spot on stage.
Right.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I would say a lot of it has to do with like, I mean, don't get me wrong, people in bands have egos, you know, like there could be quote unquote rock stars who may feel certain ways about other bands or like the level that they're on. But I feel like just a competitive nature overall that is in hip hop that is not in those other genres. That's what like makes it a big difference. Kind of like I like how you describe it. Like they are a lot more accepting. That's a good word. Cause like in hip hop, I feel like it's not so much that people are accepting. It's just some people like, you know, it's like more like a competitive thing, more like an ego thing.
Yeah.
Like they're like, yo, I like what you're doing, but like, I like what I'm doing, and I don't want to show you too much type of props. Then I don't. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
you're right though. You're right.
Certain people feel like if they give you props for what you're doing, it devalues what they're doing, and it makes no fucking sense to me. It's insane. But you know what I mean?
I agree.
That's also a good thing that like it differentiates people. You know?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to click and link with everybody you come across. That's just how life is.
Good
so
call.
I feel like
in
yeah, you know, and at like in punk or even if it's not punk, metal or any type of other type of like genres, I feel like it's a lot less competitive overall, especially if you're in a backyard. Everybody's kind of like, yo, we're all at the same bar, we're all at the same backyard. Like, you know, how big your ego be? You know, we're all just here, just vibing, you know?
For real.
But in hip hop, it's a lot more, some people won't even want to clap, they won't even want to shake hands, they won't. It's definitely a different feel. Definitely a different feel. But yeah, I would say because of that, because the music's just, the genres are just different like that.
I agree, man. Thank you for that insight too. Because we've been talking about that lately, and the more and more that we've been experiencing that, like playing non-traditional hip hop shows, it's just so evident. Like it's so like it gets pretty obvious. And in fact, we were talking to Tumex about this recently. And he was saying the same thing. Like he had that early experience too in his career. And he was just like, I mean, I guess it really just comes down to, at the end of the day, us as artists, right? Just go where you're appreciated. Like that's really it. You know what I mean? Like find the people who appreciate it. And I feel like if you have an original voice like you do, Moody, like I think the audience, at some point, the audience just becomes yours anyways. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they necessarily need to be hip hop fans to be Moody fans. They could just be Moody fans, and that, I'm sure you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
cool,
man.
Yeah.
Well, brother, thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. Please come back anytime you drop something, bro. You always have a home here. Anything you want us to promote, send it over to Platform Collection forever. You good to go, G. And shout out to the homie Beardo for always talking so great about you and really pushing you to get on the show definitely. Too. He wanted you on the show. Beardo just wants to hear us interview everybody, all his friends. So shout out to you, Beardo. But Moody,
shout out to Beardo for sure.
Real quick, man. Anything you want to say before you're out?
Yeah, like shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for having me. It's been fucking awesome. Definitely a cool ass, fucking I don't even want to like necessarily call it an interview. It felt like we were just straight kicking it and chilling.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean?
Oh,
But
nice.
honestly, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. I definitely would love to, be back and shit, dude. Shout out everybody, anybody who tuned in, anybody who is gonna tune in. We're gonna tell you guys about it. Hell yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. Guys, everybody, please follow Moody. In fact, your Instagram is Moody _Moody 90. Well, let's see here. Underscore Moody.
909,
Yep. Underscore Moody 909. Make sure you guys tap in with him, follow him, go to his shows, man. He kills it at shows.
Yep,
I love it. I enjoy watching him perform. And then make sure you run up those numbers on his videos. Like we always say, if you want to support us, support the artists we bring on. That'll be good enough for us. So please support Moody. Moody, we will talk to you soon, man. Thank you so much.
Word, hell yeah. You guys have a good one.
You too, brother.
All right, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Moody.
Dope, man.
Dope story, right?
Another one, yes.
And another one. We know how to pick them, y'all. Sorry for any of the technical difficulties on that, by the way, but we'll stitch it all together. In fact, if you're watching this once this comes out officially,
it'll be stitched.
You won't even notice. You won't even notice.
You'll be confused of what we're saying.
Yeah. You'll be like, what? What are you talking about? Everything is perfect.
Where at?
I think if it cut off at all, he had just started talking. So, but man, I like that, dude. Yeah, true or not, man. Every time we because I shot you. We ran into Moody at a special top secret recording of another show. But I had told you about him before.
Yes.
And I knew nothing about him. Right? Like I literally knew nothing about him at all. Like I just heard his music, I saw him perform, I was like, "Oh, he's dope." And I like to do I'm gonna say it how we feel. We know how to pick them.
Yes.
Like I just know, like I've seen enough artists at this point. When I see like an authentic article, like Moody obviously is, I'm attracted to that type of art. I want more people to see that type of art. It's cut from those same cloths of that we've seen in different underground scenes, LA underground, the IE underground, San Diego underground. It breeds a particular type of artist. And then the fact, to me, the bonus was that he came from punk.
I was about to say that, man. Yeah, the punk stuff was like,
because we love that shit. We love the fact anytime people mix that kind of stuff or they bring in these sounds that are from outside, these sounds and influences that are outside of hip hop. I love that. And like I said, the moment I found out that he came from punk, everything made sense to me. I was like, oh, I get it. I get the aesthetic now. And I'm glad that we can put that story out there, because I think a lot of the times, have you guys ever heard an artist and maybe for whatever reason you didn't follow that artist and then you saw an interview and then you started following that artist?
Yeah.
Right.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. And that's why I love doing this, because if people might not have known Moody, now they kind of know a story. And if they're like, oh shit, man, I like punk and hip hop too. Like, oh, that is kind of, you have a way to you have an entry point for these artists. And I think that's dope. So please follow Moody _Moody 909 and run him up, man. And we'll bring him back on.
Yeah, he'll get back on.
He'll be back on for sure.
We'll see him soon.
Well, yeah, we'll see him soon. I'm rooting for him though. I'm rooting for the homie Moody. Rooting for the homie Wix. He mentioned the homie Wix. Shout out to Wix. And shout out to Beardo. Good old Beardo.
Yeah, he just had his event last Sunday.
Black Books and Rhyme Books.
Yeah, man. And
killing the game.
Off the hook.
Off the hook. Let's do this. What should we do here?
Let me see your lighter right there, man.
This lighter?
Yes.
There you go, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ladies, what did you think about Moody? Are you guys familiar with him? Were you guys familiar with him yet?
Yeah, we saw him at that contest at Thought Fest.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And I kind of got that aesthetic of him being punk, so it makes sense because he had a bunch of energy.
Yeah. He was a great performer. And then what do you guys think about? I feel like he said a lot of things that were relevant and a lot of things that we probably, I could speak for the room. I feel like collectively we kind of agree on a few of the things that he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the part we were talking about. We were talking that like last week about other genres showing love more to to us than the actual hip hop scene sometimes.
Yeah. And his reasoning too
is that competition
about the ego.
And that's what I think we mentioned too. We said like ego and competition. It's like a competition.
Yeah. Well, at least we weren't crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe we were wrong, but we were not. Apparently we were not, because Moody feels it too.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear from that side. Someone being
someone who came from outside of hip hop into hip hop and then is now here. Yeah. Because sometimes you do think that. You're like, oh shit, man, is it, why is that? Why is that feeling of, like a competition constantly there in hip hop? But the reality is, it's like you said, most of the things is just that simple misunderstanding that giving somebody props or respect or just enjoying their shit somehow takes that away from you.
Yeah. It seems like that's
a weird, it's non-logical. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
True. Yeah.
It seems like that punk world understands that individual or their groups are like
should be individuals.
They're their own thing.
Right.
And
they don't want to see copies of things. They don't want to see So there is like from the essence of punk, there's no, even though like you said, I'm sure it exists, but the essence is be different, be true to yourself, right? So then how can you be in competition with anybody? They'd have to be you. You'd have to be competing. Like two yous would have to be competing. And if there can't be two yous, then there can't be competition.
Right.
That's what I've always felt, and it's weird that it plays out in hip hop the way it does sometimes. But what are you going to do, man?
We got the insider.
Let me see here. All right. 8:30, right? We got who?
8:15.
8:15, we got O'Shea Boy. This is another dude. So let me tell you how I found out about O'Shea Boy. We've talked about it on this show before. We all used to frequent an event called Hip Hop Wins in San Diego a few years back. He got booked there. He showed up there for something, and I started following him from there. Such an original voice. Plus the fact that he was talking and he was like covering topics that were, at least it seemed like, beyond his years. Like he seemed pretty deep.
Oh.
And his whole crew was, they were very polished for such young dudes. And then I've watched him just kind of blossom over the last few years.
Right.
And I had wanted the opportunity to talk to him and kind of tell his story. I wanted to get his story out there more. And now we have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on.
Long in the making, it was a little journey, but he's in.
Yeah, he'll be on in about 10 minutes. Yes. So if you're tuning in for O'Shea Boy, stay tuned.
Recording in progress.
Does he perform with like a group, right? Or is it or no?
I mean, we're going to find it all out, but from what I've seen, he does solo, but he does roll with a crew.
Okay. Because I remember, I think I saw him at Hip Hop Wits. That's where I first heard of him.
Yeah. And he, I'm bringing up his info right now. Stop Dreaming Records. That's the crew.
Yeah. Because I remember he like brought some of his friends up on stage, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah. And he's repping Riverside. Okay. So Riverside Stand Up, one of your very own. My dude is lyrical. My dude is a real spitter. And we're going to get to know him. Like I said, I know a minimal. I just found out that he was from Riverside, just looking right now. I know him from his music, and his music is amazing. And he's like an artist that I want you guys to see. I want you guys to learn about. And like I said, I like bringing people on that I follow as a fan.
Right.
Because I don't know O'Shea. I don't know O'Shea. There's kind of a loose connection with Kali. Kind of knew them more than I did, and I kind of followed them from that standpoint. But other than that, no, I don't know him like that. I want to get to know him, and I want you guys to get to know him. And Let me see if we can set him up really quick. Okay, we
He's
got
in
him
there
on the
already.
line.
That's
Hey,
dope.
O'Shea, do you is there a way for your camera to turn? For some reason, you're sideways. I don't know why that is.
Let me see.
I think it's a Zoom. I kind of feel like it's a Zoom update thing because the last guy was having a problem. We never had that problem before.
It'd be
Yeah. Just roll it like that, and we'll patch it in like that way. But ladies and gentlemen, the homie O'Shea Boyd is on the show.
Welcome, brother.
What's
Welcome.
What's up, my dude? Here, I'm gonna hook up your camera a little bit here so we can see you properly. Boom.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Boom.
Clean.
Okay, O'Shea, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you
Stop
very
Dreaming
much.
Records in the building. Dude, it's been you were on our list for this season, man. We make a list at the beginning of season, and I threw your name out there because I've been watching you and the moves you guys are making. Very impressive. In case you ever wonder, because I know, bro, as an indie artist, it gets weird out there. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing is working right away.
Right.
You know, you have to test a lot of things. You're your own tester, right? You guys are running your own stuff. So I can tell you, and I'd like to tell you as an outsider looking in, whatever y'all are doing, it's working. The right people are taking notice. The right people you're in the conversations. Like I said, I think I've met you one time in San Diego a long time ago. But since then I've heard your name pop up in circles. So it's always dope to tell an artist that, because I know, like I said, a lot of times we're out there and nobody's confirming anything for us. You know what I mean? Like we have to get that direct response just from the audience. And that's the only time we get that. So I can tell you, bro, shit's working. People are talking about you. People are hyped about the stuff you're doing. Let's start from the beginning though, man. Let's start kind of where you began with hip hop. I want to know, like, at least how you got into it, and then we can kind of move forward from there.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can hear me good, right?
Yep,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, for me, hip hop was always in my life, man. Like, you know, my mom introduced me to gangster rap, and my uncle listened to a lot of East Coast artists, and I have a musical family, you know, that tried to pursue music on my father's side. So it was always around me. I think, you know, when I was like 10, I used to like rap, like, and make fun of people. Like my friends used to tell me to rap. They'd be like, "Oh, wait, O'Shea, why don't you try to kick something?" And then, you know, I would say some shit, roasting on somebody. But it went from that to people saying like, you know, if you took that shit seriously, man, you'd probably be cool. I mean, me subconsciously not really taking it seriously or thinking about it. I know, you know, like fast forward, I had this infatuation with poetry when I was like 14, you know.
Dope.
And I didn't start rapping like really at first. I started doing stand-up poetry. Like I performed at a couple of cafes like in my younger days. Just the poet, just doing spoken word poetry. But like I had made this strange connection once I realized like my infatuation with rap and just the art of it. That's when I was like, okay, well, I want to do it, you know, my way. And I started recording myself at 15, man, and you know, here we are now.
Wow. Okay. And just for the audience, how old are you right now, O'Shea?
I'm 26 now.
Okay. So yeah, still a very young man. You are, from my observation, man, like I've seen, and I don't know your personal story beyond, you know, what you've shared right now, but you seem to like be a pretty deep thinker, man. And I'd like to know kind of like, I'm assuming there were steps to get to that point, right? Or at least to get to that journey.
Oh yeah.
What were the introduction? Like why, if you could be your own observer and go, this is why this dude thinks deeper, what would your answer be?
It would be based off of like my experience and growing up. And then I've always, like, as a kid, I've always had a crazy imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never bored. You know, like, my mom would tell me that she would never hear me say I'm bored or, you know, anything. Like usually normal children be like, I'm bored, I want to do this and do that. But I had a crazy imagination as it is. And just how I grew up, you know, in a certain environment, you know, it molded me to be a person that didn't just rap for fun at some point. But like, as I was 15 when I started, it wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna be, you know, this street knowledge type of, or like, you know, this type of artist. I was like trying to figure out who I was. I was copying people and trying things. And for me, from like 15 to like 20, or at least 22, 21, that I would consider all that just development for me. I was just trying to figure out who I was. And I think I really caught on to who I was when I hit like 19. So at that point, I was like, okay, now that I realize who I am with it, what do I really want to say with who I am? You know, how can I make somebody hear me and like be like, I think I can kind of relate to this person, or hear him and be like, you know, I want to get to meet this dude. I want to be interested in what else he has to say just off of one verse, you know. And based off of the artists that inspired me, you know, it just pushed my competitiveness as far as like how I want to deliver, or, you know, the difference between making a song and being an MC, you know, because it is a big difference.
Yeah.
And, you know, I tailor to you know, my own ideas as far as how I want to come off as an artist. And, you know, I don't take myself too seriously, but I also don't cut myself no slack, you know.
Dude, so talk to me about because one of the things I've noticed in your music, and you talked a little bit about, you know, being an MC over a rapper, why in this time, and just be it, whatever answer comes to you, please let me know. Like, in this time when it's really, really easy, especially somebody of your talent level, to make music that is easily digestible, right? Like, you could easily do that. You could pick something that's just very easily digestible. Doesn't take a lot of thinking. You tend to curb away from that and dive into deeper topics and try to, even though you got bars, bro, you're not just barring out. It's obvious that you're not. It's obvious that you have something to say. Why do that? Especially in an independent game when it could be easier for you to do the opposite of that.
Right. And I think that's just off the simple fact that we're so used to it, you know, and once I realized that these words and what I'm rapping about is bigger than just me, like, and who it affects. And I got friends and, you know, relatives that listen to my music for real, and not just, you know, like background music, but they hear my shit, you know, as real fans too, you know, before other people across the world might hear it. I mean, I've got messages from people in different places of the world who would just send me love. Like, you know, I heard this, I'm from the UK, I'm from here and there, you know, those things are very important. So when you realize that margin between just making a song and trying to deliver a message, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have fun. You know, I'm human. So whether I pick some real shit, I'm still gonna kick something fun or cool, but like, there's still gonna be an undertone into it. And I think it's really because we're so used to hearing the same type of sound. I think it's a big sign of integrity, and it's a big, like, it's courageous to do, you know, what's not being done already, or like when you hear something refreshing, you're like, okay, this dude's not sticking to the regular script, you know. It speaks volumes, you know, for a lot of artists. I see plenty of artists do it. Agreed,
man. Yeah, man, I wanted to hear your thinking on that, because it is always, and I think you hit the nail on the head in speaking about the integrity of it. I do feel like I'm a big proponent for artistic freedom, right? I'll defend anybody's freedom. I'll defend anybody's freedom to talk about bullshit. If that's what they're talking about and that's their expression, then it is. However, I always lean towards things, to me, like the artist we had on before you, Moody, and it's the reason you're booked on this show as well. It's because we lean towards things that I don't want to always just eat fast food.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want something nutritious, and I want something that feeds my brain. And you tend to, you know, at least delve in that arena. That's the place you seem the most comfortable at. I want to talk to you a little bit about your creative process and like what you do to stay creative. Like, what's the daily like for you? Like, how do you stay committed to what you're doing and loving what you're doing? Like how do you get your mind into that place?
First, you know, I always, at the end of the day, I always dwell everything, and my reason behind everything is the man upstairs, God, for sure, giving me the main source. After that, it's just my experience, and then I'm always getting inspired, man. Like, and I don't just listen to rap either. You know, I listen to all kind of shit, jazz, alternative rock, fucking just instrumentals, or like techno and wave. I listen to all kinds of sounds, and then just this world we living in, man. Like, it's like, what can you not? There's like shit. There's like so much shit to talk about, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We live in this state of like, there's like this theme for songs. Like, it's like a theme for music now. Like, you know what people are gonna talk about to a certain extent. So for me, when it comes to that creative aspect, it's just like, it's everything. Like, I get inspired by so much. I don't even have to listen to music. I could take a walk and my brain would just start going, you know, or like being with my family, it influences me and inspires me, or just being in a studio environment, you know, networking, shows we do, like, it all adds the creative juice to not settle, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you might have certain artists who find themselves like getting writer's block. I mean, I've had the tendency to not necessarily have writer's block, but, you know, kind of not force my shit. You know, I don't be trying to force my music or force my sound, or, you know, I take my time with it. I mean, I've written verses weeks apart before, you know, like I'll write something and be like, back to it, you know, because I meditate on the sound a lot. And yeah, that it comes from everywhere. I don't even have to like I don't have to get high to come up with something, or like, you know, I don't even have to be in a studio, bro. I can be in my bathroom and write a song. Like,
gotcha.
Because I draw from just here, you know, like.
Yeah. You mentioned a little bit about your family being involved in music, or at least the arts, and trying to pursue that. How do you think that does your family, when they look at what you're doing right now, as an artist, do you feel like everybody gets it? Does everybody kind of understand what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I believe so now, just off of the reception. At first, you know, it probably could as a hobby to most people, even your family. Like, you know, Shay's rapping, you know, he does a little rapping thing, but like when they start seeing me perform and shit, and like you know, other people coming up to me, or people messaging me, things like that, when they see shit like that, it's like, you know, even my mom, she's like my son is no joke, you know. Like, at first, I wouldn't have even thought she was rapping. I was like, okay, you're not playing with your shit. Like, you're really about what you're doing, and it can be respected, you know, from family, as far as how you carry yourself. Because I'm not, like I said, you know, I'm not making the microwave stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this, man, because I want us to manifest some stuff today. Let's talk about this. If you are O'Shea Boyd's like manager, right, and you're looking at the next thing that O'Shea needs, what is that? What do you think O'Shea needs to further his career? What needs to happen still?
Well, if I was O'Shea's manager, seeing what O'Shea does, I would just, you know, and it's funny that you say that, because like my manager now, like, his thing is like sticking to it, like, you know, sticking to it. Like, it's a journey when you're trying to make it in a certain aspect of you know, the music industry, or whatever you want to do with it, you know. So I have, like, not just me, but we have the tools as far as Stop Dreaming Records. It's not just me, you know, it's all of us. And the fact that we have this thing that's so rare, you know, based off our family first, on top of the music aspect, you know, you keep that shit solid, and then you just keep going. You just keep doing it. Keep making the albums. Keep staying on this. Keep making the videos. Keep it going, because eventually it's gonna become second nature to people knowing who you are. It's gonna, you know, you're gonna go through some stuff. Don't let people on the outside try to sway your mind and shit. So if I was O'Shea's manager, like, I would say the same shit that's being told to me right now. Which helps, because sometimes you don't have people in your corner that'll give you the game or like give you positive insight, man. And me, and I speak for me and everybody else on my team, for sure, we are very blessed to have Who Is He in our corner, a manager as such, for sure. You know,
that's dope, man. I mean, and that's an amazing thing to say too. Shout out to Who Is He, by the way, because that is, I'm always a proponent for people who empower artists. You know, I think we as a society, just at large, misunderstand the artist so much and the value of the artist. So when somebody does see the value of artists, man, that's a blessing. You know, that's a blessing for all artists, because it helps grow the tree. You know, and shout out to Who Is He, because he's definitely garden. You know, he's a gardener. Yeah, he's a high level gardener, as I like to say. So let me ask you this, dude. For 2022, what are the plans? Do you guys have the year planned out? Are you guys looking to tour more? Are we going to be getting a lot more music? What can people expect from you?
What people can expect from me and Stop Dreaming Records is albums, shows, you know, and the possibility of whatever we put out, you know, as far as it being accepted and wherever it takes us. You know, we move strategically with our releases and how we do things. So, you know, you get what you earn. You know, you put in the work, you put in your time. People are gonna fuck with it, you know, but you ain't gotta force everybody. You ain't gotta be asking everybody to listen, asking for handouts and shit. Just stick to your craft, and you know, that's what you can expect from us. You can expect artists to stand by, you know, what they say and release very good content, whether we be on stage or we be making Instagram freestyles. You know, you can expect just the truth, the real shit, like, you know, and not nothing to, you know, it's things that you can cherish and things you can appreciate, because we don't, like, we take our time with it, and we try to make sure that we're doing it right, you know, because it ain't dope, just man. Me, you know, I do the rest of the brand as well.
That's amazing, bro. And I definitely love what you guys are doing on all levels, by the way, because I know you're not the only artist in the crew, and it seems to be a high level artist, and it's going to be exciting to watch this team grow. I'll say this. I think that it's refreshing to see artists like yourself make the stuff you make and then speak to you and see that it's obviously backed up by the truth. So allow me to give you your flowers on that, bro. Like, cause trust me, in this game, that has become a more and more rarity, as unfortunately as time has gone on, because it's so easy to fake it. Right. It's so easy to fake things. And I see you guys putting in the real work, you know?
Thank you very much, man. For sure. Very well, much appreciated. Definitely. We try to, I mean, we're not striving for, you know, a bunch of like hand claps, but every single method of appreciation is definitely, like, it goes without feeling like, you know, this shit we're not doing this for nothing, you know, like, I take everything into heart with people reaching out to me, even if it's one person, bro. Like, you know, that shit matters.
Yes, sir, G. And yeah, man, I'm excited for what you have coming up. I'm excited for what the team has coming up. I want you to know you guys always have a home here. Tell the whole crew, man, come through at some point. Anytime you guys have something to promote, anything you want to talk about. We also got, I mean, for real, bro, you can just come in and talk, because I enjoy the conversation. I love talking to other deep thinkers. So please keep sharing your message. And like I said, drop in anytime, man. You always have a home right here at Chris Sees the Internet and at Platform Collection. If there's anything we can ever do to y'all, please do not hesitate to reach out, man. Please, anything we can do for you.
Yeah, much love, man. I thank you so much for that. Thank you for sure.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, definitely.
Anything real quick before you go, man? Anything any shout outs, anything you want to put out there before we let you go?
Shit, man. Shout out Stop Dreaming Records. You know what I'm saying? I got a song called Handsome out, produced by Sequence. Me and Dermon got a song called True out, you know what I'm saying, produced by Sequence. I got an album coming out. I'm not gonna tell you the name. My boy Dermon got an album coming out. You know, we got some shit coming, man. And you know, we check out the website, stopdreamingrecords.com. That's where all our shit is at, man. You know, don't knock it till you.
Boom. Yeah, there it is there. Dude, fire. Please come back when the record comes out and like I said, send the team through and we'll have a dope conversation for sure. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. One love,
yes,
man.
Sir. Ladies and gentlemen, right, O'Shea Boy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Great stuff, man.
Amazing artist, right? Mm-hmm. Again, man, we know how to pick them. Mm-hmm. We're not playing.
No. Even when we're playing, we're not playing.
Even when we're playing, we're not really playing. Which would just mean that we don't know how to play.
It hurts.
Yeah. Either way,
we're not playing.
Either way, we're not playing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stop Dreaming Records. What do you guys think? Young man, got a good head on his shoulders.
Great attitude, great vibe, great feelings and stuff.
Yeah, dude. What is it about that, right? It doesn't it always feel like that old soul thing, right? O'Shea, Moody too. Both of them seem to kind of have an old soul, as if like their mind has seen a lot more than their years.
Right.
Yeah, especially when he was talking about what, like 15 through 21 is when he was like finding himself. And I was like, oh my God, I found myself like 25.
Yes, you're like yesterday. You're like, I just found myself in the closet yesterday.
Yeah, like I'm still finding myself. I was like, that's crazy, but he's so young.
I found myself on a curb last night.
Yeah, I'm on the hunt myself.
Yeah, man. But that's encouraging to me. I don't know. This is what's so weird to me, and maybe you guys can have some insight on this. I don't get why older artists feel a way, like when they feel a way about just someone because they're younger.
That's true.
It's such a weird thing, as if you weren't that age.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be different if you just like skipped it, right? Like you were 16 and then you're like 50. Like it doesn't work like that. And if you don't want mistakes repeated from the past, it is essential that all the generations mix and help each other. You have to. The older generation has to help the younger generation. That has to happen. That can't be skipped if we want to continue to enjoy all this stuff. You know?
Yeah. And it's inspirational too to see like that they're not repeating the same mistakes we were. Like at that young age, you're already like thinking that deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's let me see, what do I hope for both of them? If I had one hope for Moody and O'Shea Boyd, I would hope, you know what? Because I feel like artistically they're good. They're going to figure it out. They're working on it. I hope that they find happiness in this, right? That it doesn't get so serious and so deep that they lose that fun. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Like, you know, I want them to both to hold on to those things because those are the things that when you're watching them from afar is what makes them great, because they shine like that. They shine because it's real love. Right. And that's what I hope for them. So shout out to both those gentlemen. Shout out to Stop Dreaming Records too. Shout out to Who Is He? That's who it was, by the way. When he mentioned that name, I remember like that's the manager. That's the connection with Kali, because I think that's Kali's an old friend of Kali.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so we kind of found out about Stop Dreaming through them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Good stuff, man. Not too shabby of a show.
No.
I mean, except for us getting kicked off because we were talking about top secret stuff.
Yes. The top secret stuff is dangerous.
Talk a little bit of politics on an underground hip hop show, and YouTube just kicks you right off.
Smell you immediately.
That was quick though, right?
I had that feeling too.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, but that was great.
Yeah, this is why, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Eddie and I are seriously thinking about just recording this show, or doing some sort of hybrid live show, because I don't like dropouts on, especially when we have a guest on. I don't want to fucking drop out.
No.
Yeah. And so what that means normally is, well, what happens is like, so we're live right now, just recording the show, right? And then usually the majority of people watch it after it's recorded because they'll watch it tomorrow when it pops up on their YouTube stream or we're promoting it.
Right.
But what happens when it drops is now I can't just, when this recording stops, I can't just go live. Like I can't put the video up like I'd like to. I like the video to just go up so someone, if they got here late, they could just watch it tonight. Mm-hmm. Now they can't watch it till tomorrow because I got to stitch it together. Because I'm going to grab that first piece, I'm going to grab that second piece and put it together and stitch it. And then after this, we'll probably record a little bumper to let them know what had happened was
this and that.
And that sucks. And I don't like that. I like the fact that people can occasionally get in the chat room, but let's be honest. We're not Beat Block TV. You know what I mean?
It's not moving as fast.
Yeah. That's moving. There's like that's a party happening over there.
Yeah.
We need time to settle in. And
everybody's settled in.
And Eddie and I have some ideas because we kind of want to take this show on the road. And so if we're able to record things, we could probably get those other interviews that we've always wanted to get and be on location at concerts and shows and show you guys behind the scenes stuff. So we're thinking about it. I'll tell you what's going to happen over the next couple weeks, though. We're going to be on some off days. In fact, I think this coming Tuesday, we're going to go live.
Yes, we'll be live.
I think right now. I think look for the. If there's a flyer up tomorrow, that means we're going to do it. But what it really means is that Sundays are going to be preempted because Eddie's leaving town.
Yes,
next Sunday.
Yes, next Sunday.
Party at Eddie's house? Wait, one of you guys is taking...
Okay, I'm throwing a party there.
Woo! Party at OG Hip Hop Eddie's house.
There'll be a huge kegger and everything.
I might talk to Magic.
I'll just smoke. We'll smoke Magic out. That's all that happens. Yeah, so for the next couple of weeks, things are going to be kind of preempted. So I'm thinking if there was ever a time to move to the recorded versions of this, these next couple of weeks is probably going to do it. So if we're going to do it, we'll decide these next couple of weeks. But please don't be mad. You know, we're still going to premiere it at the same time, I think, right? Sundays.
Yeah, we'll still be good.
We'll premiere it. And then how about this? Me and Eddie will jump in the chat room during the premiere of the show and host it.
There you go.
You know, we'll just host it on the chat. That way you can host it from wherever you're at. Just jump in the chat room.
They could ask questions, like immediate questions.
Yeah, immediate questions that we can give them answers to. Yeah. There's wins. There's wins on both sides. We don't have to stay...
Happy moments.
Yeah, we don't have to stay live. But yeah, I'm getting sick of the dropouts. I think we're having one right now.
We did.
Yeah, see, but the thing is with OBS, when it turns red, it doesn't mean it dropped out on all. Sometimes it's just dropping out on Twitch.
Right.
Sorry, Twitch.
Sorry.
But you know what's dope though is if you ever want a non-dropout stream, by the way, just watch us on Twitter. I don't know if you guys even know that. You can watch this on Twitter. Go to KILLcRey, me on Twitter, and the video will be up there and it's hosted through Twitter. And the way they handle dropouts is way doper. Like the video does not stop. Like it just stitches together in real time. So I don't know why YouTube doesn't do that.
They got the Matrix code.
Yeah, they got Elon Musk. Twitter's got Elon Musk, so...
It's a different game.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
You know?
Extra zeros on that tab.
But this is who we have coming up, I think. Can I just say off the top of my head?
Yeah, do you remember them? Yeah, I mean, I have to...
You got most everybody I put out, huh? I gave you? Yeah. I don't want to say somebody that... You better say.
I better say them.
But I'm excited because these are some people that I've been wanting to have on the show for a minute. Can I say Zinaloa? Is Zinaloa one of them?
He's up in there.
The homie Zinaloa. Again... A dude I kind of just know from Instagram and shows, and he's in the scene. He's doing what we do, and he's killing it right now. Yeah. But I also feel like he needs some more love. People need to give him some more love. So I want to bring him on. I want to tell his story. And so Zinaloa is going to be coming up. Who else?
Well, on Tuesday, we got A Sincere.
Oh, A Sincere. And super dope artist. By the way, if you don't know who A Sincere is, you're going to get to know him and what he brings to the table because he's a multi-talented artist. He's a promoter. He's a singer. He's a rapper. He's a songwriter. He produces, I think. He's a man about town.
Yeah.
But he makes excellent music. Excellent high-level music. We met him through the Brick to Your Face camp. Noah James introduced us to Ace Sincere, and now he's going to come on, and you guys are going to love him, by the way. Another really out-of-the-box artist.
And then we got, it's on that same date, on Tuesday, Local Black.
Local Black.
Local Black, yes.
Local Black.
Hey, man.
Not like a skinny black dude. A local black dude. That's
yes.
Local Black. Okay.
My apologies there, yes.
Okay, dude. So let me tell you the story on this. One of the homies was doing like somebody had like I know what it was. It was Black Books and Rhyme Books, I believe the only San Diego edition. Do you remember this, Eddie?
Yes.
It was in Southeast San Diego.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And Beardo had come down, and Local Black was one of the artists that he booked, and he just blew us away. Dude was just performing in the street, like in front of the DJ booth, like in this little shopping mall, real cutty underground shit. And he killed it. And then since then, I've, again, just like with O'Shea, like with Moody, you know I do this, Eddie. I'll just start following somebody's career.
Right.
I just follow them on Instagram, and then I'm just watching their careers because of all the stuff we do. We have to book artists. We have to do interviews. So that's like a hobby of mine, watching artists grow and seeing them develop, especially the ones within our scenes. And Local Black is one of those guys. Another dude, I'm super excited. So we got two goodies coming up. So Ace Sincere and Local Black on Tuesday, possibly. That might air on Sunday, but that's who's coming up. And then who else?
Yeah, let me see. That other one is where are those? Where are you? Oh no, I'm in May. Damn, man. That's Gabby right there.
Good God. I'm waiting, Eddie.
I just had him.
You just have to bring up the thing and just go by.
M16 the Great.
Oh, M16 the Great. Yes. So again, another artist I don't know a whole lot about. Just know the music. And I see this dude getting up on flyer after flyer. He comes highly recommended. Again, from the Brick to Your Face camp. He comes highly recommended from them. He's not in that crew, but he comes recommended. So I want to talk to him, tell his story. You're going to like this dude too. Another out of the box. We kind of have a theme, I think.
Yeah,
we like to book artists that are like very original, very out of the box.
Yeah, they're
Did you have another one for me, or is that?
That's it for right now.
Okay.
That's it for right now, yes.
Good, because it might take you a month just to find the other ones on the calendar.
Yeah, man, I'm on because we changed dates,
yeah, we have some dates coming up. And then we have Father's Day's coming up. So we're debating whether or not maybe you'll just get me, the fatherless rapper. You'll just have me on the show by myself, all sad.
But I got the one to cover that one, and that's the Sinaloa.
Why don't you send me my dad?
Sinaloa, man.
Sinaloa.
That's the one to cover the Father's Day one.
Yeah, but that's going to cover Father's
Tuesday.
Day. But I'm saying I could still go.
Yeah, you could, man.
I could still be live. You just don't want, because you're not going to be here. But you're a dad, bro. Have some fucking mercy, for God's sake.
I'll send you a picture of us.
It's like a double dip day. I mean, you got 2 kids, so you got 2 kids and a wife. You're gonna get like 3 gifts.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah. I don't get a gift, and I don't have anyone to give the gift.
I mean, you can give me one.
Louis can get you something.
You ain't my daddy.
Oh man,
you ain't my daddy.
Yes.
So we're figuring it out over the next couple of weeks. Gifts. We'll figure out whether or not we're going to be on those days. But the schedule is going to be all over the place. Which again, maybe it's just time to start recording this show.
There you go.
But we got a lot on our table.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say before we go? Oh, make sure you check out myself and Gene Flo just dropped a live rendition of our song "Shorts and a Sweater." You can catch it on either one of our Instagrams, Gene_Flo, or on mine at KILLcRey. So go there, run up those numbers, let us know, leave some comments. Make sure you guys turn on the alerts, follow all the shows here. The Artful Truth has an amazing episode coming up Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday.
Drops 31st. Tuesday, and it covers
the road.
The ladies' night event that we just did with Lucy Camp and Vel 9. Shout out to Vel the Wonder. Shout out to 60 East for doing an amazing event. You can definitely catch the ladies at these future events as well. So the ladies are going to be at Ladies Night. We had a blast. Honestly, it was really fun. It was really cool to see that 60 continuously building a community out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Shout out to the IE. Shout out to Ontario. But the IE was in the house though, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just right there, right? Is that considered?
Yeah, I think that is the IE.
That's the IE. Ontario is the IE. Okay, I got it. I'm learning these things.
Oh, no, James.
I'm learning things. And they had great tacos.
Oh, yeah. They were good.
First time I got to see Lucy Camp perform. What did you guys think? Everybody?
I liked it.
Yeah. And by the way, did you guys know, low key, that was the first time she ever performed?
Oh, I remember hearing that. Yes, I do remember seeing that.
Yeah, or she hadn't performed since she was 16. Like she said, like some little show when she was 16. And I'm assuming she's in her 20s now, right? She's not like a kid.
Somewhere there.
Yeah. So that was crazy.
It was me really I took in Belle's performance, and it was
so good.
Wow, it was so
good.
Great.
It's so polished now, right?
Yeah.
She's really
so
good.
polished. She had such a great control of the audience. But man, Ladies Night in Ontario. Follow 60 East for more of that. Follow the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, Thought Fest on Instagram, and stay up with that. Especially if you're in the LA area or in Southern Cali at all. You're going to want to stop by an all ladies hip hop night. Crazy, dope, high level artist all night. And you might find the Heartful Truth there posted, slanging art like it's yayo. But the ladies both sold art.
Yes, they did.
Ladies both sold art. Ladies both sold merch.
Yeah.
It's flying off the shelves.
Yeah, you better catch
everything must go, ladies and gentlemen. Everything must go
before you miss out.
When is it? Are we going to be back before the next event that we're going to be at?
I haven't seen the new schedule.
When is 7?
7.
When is the we're myself 7 Octobers, and then she invited me and Millie to be at we're going to show our art, physical art.
June 8th it's a Wednesday, at the Soda Bar.
June 8th in San Diego at the Soda Bar. If you're in the San Diego area, we're going to be dipping in at the Soda Bar and
it's like an art exhibition,
slanging art, man.
Yeah,
slanging art all night long. You know what I mean?
Get your ticks. Link in my bio.
Link in her bio. 7 Octobers with a Z. Follow the homies. And come out and just link up. You don't have to come out and buy art. Don't think you have to come out and just buy art. It doesn't hurt.
At least one.
It doesn't hurt though.
Yeah.
But either way, just come and kick it, man. Come say what's up. By the way, over the last few months, we've had the opportunity to set up our booth at a few different events, and I'm loving everybody that we
leveled up on that booth, by the way.
Yeah, our booth, booth is top level,
top notch, right there.
But yeah, I think that
want some?
You guys agree? Everyone that has been coming to the booth that we've met, supporters, fans, have all been amazing.
Yeah.
Good people.
I mean, I'll tell you this, dude. I love our supporters. Our supporters are super dope. Every time we meet them, we talk about you guys. All the way home, we're talking about how cool you guys are and how, and how much it's cool to see you guys actually come out and meet us. So please do. If you ever, if you're ever around us or you catch us at an event, please come over. Tell us you watched the shows or whatever. Tell us you hate the shows.
Oh my God.
We haven't had that one yet, so
yes,
we assume it's coming though. We assume it's coming. But guys, we'll see you guys sometime next week.
Yes,
sometime next week. Tuesday, Sunday, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Follow me on Instagram. Follow OG Hip Hop Eddie on Instagram. Turn on your alerts. Subscribe. Platform Collection. We're here all week, y'all. You can catch content all week. So if you didn't catch this, you can catch the Heartful Truth on Tuesday. Big names on that episode, by the way. That's what we brought that up to say.
Yeah,
we're just flexing on y'all.
Take that.
Big names on that episode coming up. By the way, ladies, congratulations! Big names all season for you guys.
Yeah,
amazing. This is probably one of the most amazing first seasons I've ever seen.
Great job.
Shout out to Eddie though too for helping us getting them booked.
Yeah. Eddie, the best booker in the game. The best booker in the game. You're booking what 4 shows now.
Yeah.
He's booking 4 shows. That secret show is yet to be. Are we going to get him on the show? By the way,
yeah, she'll be on that following Tuesday one.
Okay, so he can just make the announcement on his own.
That following Tuesday.
But it's coming up. So we got a new podcast and check out Vita Kills, the podcast about people. And follow Vita Kills. Follow the homies over at Black Books and Rhyme Books.
He'll be on with Sinaloa.
OG Husky Radio. All that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And stay tuned. We got some dope artists coming up. Follow Moody. Follow O'Shea Boyd. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
That was the internet. We saw it.
Yeah.
Peace.